Hi guys, and welcome to my life coaching with some tools and techniques. Today I want to speak to you guys about expectations and timescales. So to get started, when we think about expectations, we've got to look back at where expectations began, all the way back at our childhood. So during childhood, we had a look around to our parents, to our teachers, to our family, and really looked at the things that they were achieving and kind of looked up to those things that they had achieved and thought, yeah, I want that in my life. I'm definitely going to have that. And from that, what we've learned to look up to having successful things like relationships, really well paid jobs, having kids by a certain age, having really nice houses, and the list goes on. So when we're younger and we're looking at those things around us, we don't realise what it takes to get those things, and we just have those expectations that eventually we're going to get to a certain age, similar to our parents or to other people. If we looked up to other people, it might be an older brother, a sister, cousins, and we're going to really start to want to achieve those things as well. I remember when I was about 15, I had certain expectations that by a certain age I would have a house, I would have my career, I would have kids, I would be married, and everything would be sorted. And obviously got to that age and it just hadn't happened. I'm a little bit older now and still haven't achieved half of the things that, looking back, I thought I would. Now this is one of the biggest things that I think a lot of us do. We have those expectations that naturally that's just going to happen. But actually, when we get to the age that we thought we'd have these things by, we really don't know ourselves, or didn't know ourselves back when we had those expectations of ourselves. And so it becomes really difficult and actually a lot of pressure and a bit like, oh God, like I've really not achieved anything that I thought I would achieve. And then you start to make yourself feel bad, and then you start to question why and what's wrong with me. And we start to really look at life and question it and kind of rush into things that sometimes isn't meant for us. So what I'd like to suggest with you guys in terms of what we do when we reach that certain age where we thought we'd have these expectations by is to first of all look back. Are you the person you thought you would be back then? Did you know yourself back then? Because I know I didn't know myself when I was setting up all these expectations. Look at where your expectations came from. So a lot of my inspiration were my parents, older family members, celebrities as an example, and realizing that I'm a completely different person and I'm on my own little different journey, as are all of you guys. So it's again looking at yourselves and really understanding, are these even the things that you want to have by this certain age? And you might actually find that they're not, or you're not quite ready. So as an example, if it was one where you were having kids by a certain age, have you met the person that you really want to have those children with? If it's marriage, have you found somebody that you really genuinely want to spend the rest of your life with? Or is it just the fact that society says that you should, in your ear, you should be doing these things? How many parties have you been to where you're like, oh, when you getting married, your turn for kids now, eh, kid? And you really do start to question yourself and think, well, should I be doing that? And again, staying humble and true to yourself and saying, is this something I want? And is it something I want now? And if it's not, that's absolutely fine. That's okay. As I keep saying to you guys, it is your own journey, and it's thinking about the things that you want to have and that you want to achieve. And it's fine that if it's not in the same time scale as other people, or if you thought you'd have it by a certain age, if it's something that you still want after you've looked back and said, yeah, it's something that I truly want, not something that I think that I should have because everybody else in society has it, then by all means, guys, start thinking of your plan of how you can start bringing those things into fruition. And if you're in that position to be able to do so, so as an example, again, if you want kids but you're single, it's going to be a bit more difficult in terms of, well, how am I going to come to have those children? And actually, is it okay to wait a little bit longer and actually find that person that you would like to have the children with? Also, as well, looking on a different end of things in terms of career. So when I was younger, I changed my mind a million times in terms of the things that I wanted to do and what I wanted to be. And again, as I got older and as I started to learn and understand myself, those things that I thought I wanted actually weren't things that I wanted. And it wasn't until I was a little bit older that I started to look into, again, who I was and found the things that I was really good at or what I wanted to do, and then started moving forward. So as long as you guys are, again, spending that time to make sure, is it really what you want to have? Is it going to make your life happier? It might be that you need to hit a certain target in terms of your earnings to have other things. It might be the fact that you want this big career that's going to take you quite a lot longer to get there. And again, sitting and thinking about it and then planning your move in terms of how you're going to get there, and not spending a lot of time reflecting back in terms of, well, I haven't achieved it yet. Also, try to avoid looking at social media and comparing yourself to, again, the lives of other people, because it can make you feel like, oh my God, I've not achieved that. So a really good technique I like to use is, if I'm following somebody on Instagram and I feel a certain type of way about what they've achieved, or I feel bad on myself, I unfollow that person, because that is not healthy for myself and my life. And again, it's taken the focus off the things that I want to achieve, guys, and it will certainly do the same for you guys as well. So if you are going to be on social media, have a look around at the people that are going to inspire you to take action in your life, again, because it's about you, not that other person, in terms of how can you start achieving the things that you want to achieve. And again, guys, enjoying that journey as well, because the process is one of the most beautiful parts of the journey to getting something and fulfilling your goal, we'll call it, rather than an expectation, but removing that expectation that you have to have it and that you have to have it now. It's absolutely fine if you guys don't. So just to wrap up on this video, guys, in terms of expectations, really go easy on yourself. Get to understand and know who you guys are as a person and what is going to make you guys happy in terms of the things that you really want to have. Not rushing and going by other people's timescales, and surrounding yourself with the things that you guys want to achieve to help you guys get there a lot quicker. Again, guys, any questions or any comments, just give me a shout. I'm more than happy to help and give some more tools and techniques in terms of how to achieve it. Again, I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I also have my website, which I'm going to be sharing shortly. I hope you all have an amazing day, whatever you're doing. Thank you.